Right. In this topic, we look at cloud computing services and platforms. Prior to this topic, we had looked at cloud computing concepts, theory, and technologies. Of course, this is a continuation of looking at some of the cloud computing technologies, is particularly from a user's perspective, because cloud services really, we are not really looking at how they are designed in the cloud or how we are using it. We are simply summarizing some of the core aspects of it. Of course, the tutorial will give you a chance to look at these cloud services as they are offered to the users by the various companies like Amazon, Google, and Microsoft. So here, so this, we basically look at types of services. The platforms will, of course, will be covered. They are provided by the vendors, and so this will be covered in the tutorial more than in this particular lecture. So this lecture is more or less a summary rather than a detailed review. I have summarized only the types of cloud services, and in terms of particular platforms like AWS Cloud, IBM Cloud, Google Cloud, we prefer that we want this to be more practical. So the tutorial will allow you to study these types of services across more than one cloud, so that you can compare them to see which one is offering the best in terms of the features, in terms of cost, in terms of quite a number of key aspects. After this topic, you will be able to have a clear picture of what sort of services are out there, which providers are the best, and so on and so on. And also, we want you to get the idea that cloud service, there are many cloud service providers, and all these services are available. They generally have a similar technologies that are provided across, and in most cases, most of these guys, they conform to the same definition, and so it is important to develop this familiarity after. And most of these will incorporate some of the concepts that we covered in the last lecture. So our learning objectives are always important. For this topic, we are basically interested in the types of cloud computing services. We also want to look at the key features of each type. You will notice that the key features are quite common because the cloud generally gives similar advantages across all the types of services. So we will also look at some examples, right? But the objective number 3 really is relegated to the tutorial, because this is where you will look closely and also discuss with the class. What we would want is for you to generate discussion on what you found out by studying a particular cloud service like databases, cloud databases, and take a look at across IBM, Google, and so on, and look at what are they offering, how are they offering it, what sort of technologies are there, what type of database are they offering, and then discuss that with the class. More or less, ideally, when you do your research, summarize it in terms of slides, and then circulate your slide to the class discussion forum and generate discussions, and then the entire group class will have an idea of what type of services are out there, and what are they used for, what are the costs, and so on. How do they measure the cost? Then next, we will be interested in looking at the cloud reference model. Of course, objective 4, 5, 6 are things that we will cover probably at the beginning of this video, after this. And then we look at mapping between cloud service model and cloud computing service types to the cloud reference model, because the cloud reference model and the cloud service model, in fact, the cloud service model is incorporated into the cloud reference model. And the cloud computing service types and categories, of course, we need to know how they relate to the cloud reference model. And in that sense, we know that these cloud services are in the context of the reference model. So that allows us to do this. Right, with that, our next video will now look at each of these issues as we proceed.